I guess my simple definition of integrity is doing the right thing when no one's watching. I'm sure that's not what Webster says for integrity, but I think that's the easiest way to understand it.
Welcome to Fireside Talks, where we help bring you from survival to stability.
Through skills, support, and the hope of Jesus Christ.
Welcome back. This is our last podcast on leading and serving. This week's theme is leading with integrity.
Right. And we've talked about leading without a title and other things, right?
Serving without burnout.
Yep. And hindsight, the way we kind of laid this out, we probably should have talked about the integrity part first. Really. Because I would argue that that is the most important part of leadership, is integrity. We do have a few things or a few scriptures that kind of point us that way. I don't believe that the word integrity is used but a very, very few times in Scripture. Somebody can mention in the comments if I'm wrong there. But I can't think of there's a lot of them that talk about integrity, but not a lot of them that use the word integrity. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So Proverbs 10:9 is one of them that actually, depending on your version, is going to actually use the word integrity.
Okay, we're going to read the ESV. So, whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but he who makes his ways crooked will be found out.
What do you think that means?
That's pretty clear, I think. Maybe we should start by defining integrity.
So, yes, we probably should. I guess my simple definition of integrity is doing the right thing when no one's watching. I'm sure that's not what Webster says for integrity, but I think that's the easiest way to understand it.
I think it's very similar. I think I looked it up with one of the kids once.
Okay. On what Webster's dictionary says?
Yeah.
Or are we going to use AI? Because no telling what AI is going to say.
We'll go to the Webster. Firm adherence to code of especially moral or artistic value. Incorruptible.
Okay.
So
like I said,
honesty, honor. Those are other words, but
sure.
There you go.
So I still feel like that falls into the doing the right thing when no one is looking.
Yeah.
So I guess for the purpose of this podcast, that's going to be the definition we use.
Yeah, sure.
So that way we're all talking about the same thing when we talk about integrity. So whoever walks in integrity walks securely.
Yeah. Meaning you don't have to be scared of what's going to happen. You don't have to be nervous about repercussions. You can be proud of your work because you know that you did it with integrity.
So we've all had that situation in our lives at some point where we're worried that somebody's going to find out what we did. You don't want to tell everybody what it was?
I mean, I'm sure it was in my teenage years. And
right.
If you know my mom, you can ask her. Would you like to share what yours were?
So, I mean, I probably did lots of things. I probably did lots of things that I didn't want people to find out about.
Okay.
I remember one that I got in trouble for when I was probably 16. 15 or 16, I got in trouble for smoking. Right? So, you certainly don't, at 15 or 16, you don't want your mom and dad to find out that you're smoking. Right? But with that, kind of having that secret or lie or maybe it's at work and we're not doing our job completely, or maybe it's just a tall tale that we told someone to try to make ourselves sound cooler than we really are.
Mm.
But we don't get to walk in that security when we're doing that
Right. Right.
because of integrity,
Right.
right? So when it comes to leadership, do you think that character is more important than that natural talent of leadership?
Yeah, because if you know how, well, I feel like they kind of go hand in hand.
Sure.
Like if you're a good leader and you have you're going to have integrity because people are going to be able to trust you. People are going to want to come to you because they know that you're going to follow through with what the things that you say, that you're telling them things honestly. And I feel like they go hand in hand more than anything.
But that what you described all sounds like character to me.
Yeah. But I feel like
not
that's
talent.
So what would be talent without character in
like
a leader?
in leadership,
Yeah.
charisma would be one. If you think of leadership,
Sure, if you're just a really good speaker.
right? And if you think of leadership, and I mean, there are rows and rows of leadership books in bookstores and libraries and stuff. And you can teach leadership, but charisma. I think public speaking is a practiced art, not a talent per se. But you can't really teach charisma, right? I think you can practice it. I think you can, try to make that a point. But to have that infectious personality that people are drawn to in a leader,
Mm-hmm.
that's not something we can teach. But if you have a good character, and often I think character comes with being coachable. If you have a good character, we can teach leadership.
Sure.
Maybe you're not going to be an effective leader and everyone's best friend, right? And if you truly are an effective leader, you shouldn't be everyone's best
Right.
friend.
Because holding people accountable hurts feelings.
It gets more difficult with friendships.
Yeah.
There's that fine line where you can do it. I think of one of the leaders on our ambulance when I was still on the ambulance, and I would come into his office and he could tell I was mad, but we were really, really good friends. So he would always ask me, "Am I your friend right now, or am I your boss?"
Mm-hmm.
And that's a character thing, right? Because if I said friend, that meant I wanted somebody to vent to, and I wanted to be mad, and I wanted to get it off my chest, but I really didn't need him to do anything about it.
Right.
And then he knew that going into it, like, whatever you tell me, I don't really need to do anything about it. I just need to listen.
Sure.
But if I said, "You're my boss," then his kind of demeanor changed. And maybe a handful of times he would even rebuke me, being like, "Well, I think you probably weren't completely right either." So being somebody's best friend and being a leader is incredibly difficult. And there's very few people out there that can do it.
Yeah.
But I think character is more important than talent, because so many of the leadership traits we can teach. But if you're not coachable and you don't have that servant's heart, and it's not in your character, we're never going to be able to get you there.
Okay.
So, how do we build trust with our friends and coworkers and all of that kind of stuff? And the scripture that you're looking up right now ties straight into it.
Okay. You build trust by having integrity. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that.
That's a pretty solid Sunday school answer.
I feel like I personally I trust a lot of people. That's just something about me, that I'm going to trust you until you have broken that trust. Not everyone is like that. You have to build a relationship to have that trust. So I guess if you think about it in that aspect, You have to prove yourself. You need to show that you're going to show up in a relationship or at a job, that you're going to be there. You're going in a friendship. You're going to have a listening ear in a job setting. You're going to do your job and do things diligently, that they can trust that if you don't know how to do something, you're going to ask how to do it. You're someone who someone can go and talk to and not worry about you spreading rumors. I feel like that's how you build trust.
Sure. I think one thing that you did leave out, though, is vulnerability.
What?
I can never say it right.
Vulnerability?
Yeah, that word. Being vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
I'll get there. Took me a long time to get specific down, too. But I think some of the best leaders will tell you, I don't know the answer, but I can find it.
Yeah.
That was one of my big things when I was teaching at the college is teaching an EMS program. I do not know everything there is to know about medicine.
Mm-hmm.
But as a teacher talking to a student, I am far better than you at finding that answer.
Yes.
So I will find that answer and give it to you. But I think it's absolutely okay in leadership to say, I don't know. As long as every time somebody walks in the door, you don't say, I don't know. Because then there's a competency thing.
Right.
But we're kind of getting off track. So let's go ahead and read 1 Matthew 4:12. Or, I'm sorry, not 1 Timothy 4:12. There is no 1 Matthew.
Oh, look, I have it highlighted. Let no one despise you for your youth, but set the believers an example in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, in purity.
So I think if we think of that scripture, maybe we can throw out that youth part. Maybe that's not the most important part, because this was a letter to Timothy, who was young.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of our people in leadership maybe aren't.
But even if you are.
Well, yes. I mean, so I wouldn't get rid of it completely. But
it applies to everyone.
But it's that set believers an example
mm-hmm.
in speech, conduct, love, faith, purity. I think that's the most important part of that verse. So in speech, setting an example in speech, what do you think that means?
Sorry, I'm looking at different versions. Saying what you mean, not being angry at the fly of a hat. I think set an example in speech would mean I don't know, like not cursing every other word, showing value in the words that you say, not spreading rumors.
Sure. So it's all of those things. The first thing that comes to mind when I think of setting an example in speech, especially in a leadership role, in so many leadership classes and books and stuff, they teach that compliment sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to compliment you. I'm going to give you an area you need to work on, and then I'm going to compliment you again.
Right.
So, because who wants to go in to their leader, whether it's at work, at church, at home, and just hear a laundry list of things you're doing wrong?
Right.
So if I can encourage you and build you up before I give you something to work on, maybe you're not doing this great, whatever it is.
Right. Maybe you'll be more accepting of the correction.
Right.
And I mean, that also helps the leader frame their mind of having to look for something good too.
Right.
It's so easy to see the things that are going on wrong.
Right.
If you want to appropriately correct somebody in a leadership role, if you want to appropriately correct somebody, you need to find something to encourage them about, that you want them to continue doing or continue to do better. And before you give them something to correct, you have to look for that.
Well, and then also, though, when it comes to correction, or the Bible's going to use the word rebuke, when it comes to that kind of thing, though, rough day.
Yeah.
don't take the last few verses. I can't remember the numbers exactly, but it's the end of Matthew 18 where Jesus teaches on basically discipline.
Okay.
That when you have an issue with somebody, go to them first. And I would say 99% of the problems we run into in leadership, in workplaces, in friendships, is when we have a problem, we go talk to everybody else first before we talk to the person we have an issue with.
Right.
And I think part of that is because today we're just not comfortable with uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you you're doing something wrong. I don't want you mad at me. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to do any of those things. But would you rather me complain to one of the kids
No.
or come to you?
Yeah. Yeah. Come to me.
Yeah, you're probably not going to enjoy it either way, but at least if I come to you in private, then maybe we can work this out.
Right.
And I would say a husband-wife thing is a little bit different. But if you were my coworker and I was your, direct superior or whatever, you'd probably much rather me go talk to you than to go talk to Susan in accounting first.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I think of when I think of speech. What's the next one? Conduct.
Yeah. And conduct.
So I have, for sure. I can't think if you have or not, though. Have you ever worked at a place that if you got in trouble outside of work, they could hold you accountable at work?
No, not really. I mean, no, not really.
I'm trying to think of a job that I've had that I wouldn't get in trouble at work if I did something outside of work.
I mean, I was the boss at the preschool.
Sure.
And so I did tell them, like, if you're going to be dumb, don't wear your preschool stuff.
Sure.
You're not representing us.
Sure.
Yeah.
Even now, in a retail space, it's normal for us to say, our customers recognize you.
Right.
So...
Oh, my goodness. Sorry.
So don't go out, They're probably not a great look if you're at the bar getting bombed every night.
Right. Yeah.
Probably not a great look if, so I work in sporting goods in a fishing department. Probably not great look if I'm standing at the boat ramp screaming at somebody.
Yeah.
Because it's taking them too long to back their trailer in.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to recognize that. Hey, that's that guy from that store. I'm not going back there if that's the way they treat people.
Right.
And then, of course, the ambulance and the fire department was a whole other story.
Mm-hmm.
As a chief officer, I represented the fire department in everything I did.
Yeah. So in conduct, it would be just showing people respect all day, everywhere.
Right. It's simply our actions.
How you hold yourself. Yeah.
I think in love is probably the tougher one. Now, and granted, we are talking about this is a letter to a pastor.
Yes.
And I know I've said it before, and I'll say it a billion more times before I die, that the English language has completely ruined the word love. Because we only have the one word, and it means I love French fries, I love my truck, I love my kids, I love my dog.
Right.
Those all need to be different kinds of love.
Right. Right. So, but we are called to love everyone.
Right.
Love people, but I mean, that's shown in wanting the best for them. Not degrading them, building them up, encouraging them, and showing compassion.
So, and that's the way I describe when Jesus says, well, in the Old Testament too, to love your neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't mean that I have to be best friends with my neighbor.
Right.
It doesn't mean that we need to hang out every day, but it does mean that I don't want anything bad to happen to him.
Right.
I don't want them to fail. I want them to be successful. I want
Yeah.
them to be happy. I want them to be all of these things. And that's loving your neighbor.
Yeah.
Not when we think of, hearts and Cupid and arrows and love
Yeah.
the way we do today. In faith, again, another one, don't forget it's being written to a pastor. But I think that's still part of our leadership. Even in a business organizational type setting. Because sometimes as a leader, things come from up above, up at that corporate level or whatever, and there are changes, and you just know, man, nobody's going to like this. Nobody's going to like it. But I have to have the faith that whoever made this decision did it with good intentions.
Right.
And they're trying to make things more profitable, easier, more efficient, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And then from a pastoral side, and I think it's tough because everybody holds pastors at this level that they're not a normal person.
Yeah.
Pastors have doubts. Pastors have fears. Pastors have all of these other things, all of these other issues that everyone else has. They just hide it better than everybody else.
Yeah.
So don't think pastors don't have times where they go through struggles in their faith. Am I boring you that much?
No, no. Sorry.
And impurity. What do you think that one means?
I guess I'm not sure what he means right there.
Okay. I can tell you in a leadership role exactly what I'm thinking by what he means by impurity.
Okay.
You had to see the viral video of that Coldplay concert where that CEO was at the concert holding that gal, but it wasn't his wife.
Oh.
That destroys an organization. That destroys your credibility. That destroys people's trust in you. All of those things. Because if he's willing to do that in his personal life, what's he willing to do in his business life?
Sure.
Now, there's another side to that, though. Like, thinking of that specific situation, like that guy lost his job, and I don't know that that's wrong. Because it was somebody else from the company that he was holding on to. Have you seen it?
I don't know.
Okay, well, here nor there. But he lost his job, so I don't necessarily think that's inappropriate. But then it went viral, and like this poor guy was getting drug over the coals. We're taught to forgive.
Right.
What happens in his house as far as dealing with infidelity, that's nobody else's business. That is up to him and his wife.
Right.
On how that plays out. But there's an instance where he broke his purity.
Right. Which
can be just as devastating in leadership as any of those other things that we just mentioned.
Yeah.
So we've kind of talked about, being there when somebody calls on us, being that reliable person, follow through, all of these things. So we've started building trust with employers, teammates, family, friends, whatever it is.
Yeah.
What happens when we do make that mistake and we lose trust?
Well, we lose trust.
Okay.
I guess I don't know what you're looking for. Like, we need to be...
How do we start the process of rebuilding?
Yeah, which we kind of talked about last week. But you have to be able to admit it. And you have to be able to ask for forgiveness. And you have to be able to pray and repent and stop doing what you're doing. whatever it is, you have to be able to go to that person and say, I'm sorry, I won't do this again, and be in integrity in saying that and not do it again.
Right. Right. I think the very first thing we have to realize is accountability. That when we make that mistake where we lose trust, we have to be willing to take the accountability for that.
Yeah.
We also have to be able to sit down and with that individual we lost trust with, we have to have that difficult conversation and not be afraid to have it, not get defensive. And if it's an organizational leadership type thing, well, let me explain to you why I made the decision I made. Even if it was wrong, even if it was a bad decision, let me explain why I made it. At least try to understand why I made this decision. And that, I guess, first leans back on every decision I make, I'm doing with integrity.
Right.
Because if I made the decision in integrity, maybe it was still the wrong one.
Sure.
But at least my motives were pure.
Sure.
But to have that difficult conversation, and this is why I made that, let them tell you that you were wrong. You know, don't get defensive. Maybe they're mad right now and they need to vent. Let them.
Yeah.
Because that's going to start rebuilding that trust right away. And I think you rebuild a lot of trust when you take accountability for your actions. And I think we miss out on that far too much. Just today, I heard somebody tell me that their driving wasn't going well because their shorts weren't comfortable. We have someone in our house with a learner's permit. And the corner didn't go well because the shorts are uncomfortable. Your pants don't have anything to do with your steering, no matter what. So, what else do we need to wrap up on leadership before we end this series?
I don't know. I don't think so. I can't think of anything.
Yeah?
Does that cover everything?
And I think too, if this is something you want to be working on, I can think of some great leadership books from a pastoral Christian perspective. I can think of some great ones that are not. They're secular and they're business minded. Because I've had to read them a couple times or a little bit now, a couple of the books, like John C. Maxwell. All of his books are very secular, but he's a very strong Christian. So if you are a Christian and read his books, you'll see those undertones. There's a lot of great leadership resources out there. I think another thing, if it's one of those things you want to be working on, ask a leader in your life what you can work on. But also be prepared for an answer you might not like.
Yeah. Be willing to work on that and accept that criticism.
Right. Because if you have someone in your life that cares for you, they're not going to tell you that your follow through is bad to try and hurt your feelings. They're going to tell you that to try to make you better. You might not like to hear it, but they're doing it for the right reasons, to help build you up. So I think that pretty much wraps up our series on leadership. There's whole podcasts out there that's all they talk about is leadership. You could spend months and months and months on it.
Sure. Yeah, breaking down.
This is very much a Cliff Notes month on leadership. Just some of the things that we find to be important.
Yeah.
And scripturally relevant to leadership.
Yeah. So next month we'll start a new series theme. We'll probably go back into a life skills one, so I'm not sure which one we're going to jump into. If there's something that you want to learn or want to know more of, please comment below so that we can answer that for you. Make sure that you like and subscribe so that we can reach more people and get the word of Fireside out there. And you can, if you need more information on Fireside Community, you can go to firesidecommunity.org. You can find a donation page there. You can find more information about all of us, our faith statement, our vision, all of that, and who's on our board. All of that's on our website. And you can also find our merch.
And a donation tab.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking about the merch the whole time.
Yeah. So, all right. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.